Petunia's gone. Come out of the pouch. Hello. Hello, little one. You cutie patootie. We're getting you a carrot. Hi everyone, welcome to the Lisa Loves Stitch and Flosstube. My name is Lisa and I'm coming to you from sunny Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. My name is Lisa Loves Stitchin' on Flosstube as well as Lisa Loves Stitchin' on Instagram, so that's how you can find me. I also put my contact details below, so if you ever need to contact me, they're down there in the drop down list. And please, if you enjoy this video, I hope you do, please click like down below, and subscribe if you would like to see more updates when I load a video. You can also click on the bell that allows you to get a notification when I do upload. It has been probably about 8 weeks since I recorded a video when I was on holiday in Cairns in tropical North Queensland, and now I'm home. And I just thought I'd share with you, I've got some visitors and I thought while they're here I might do a little video. I don't know if they'll come behind me, but I'll just show you. We have some hopeful cockatoos that think they're going to get fed, but they're not. And then some in the tree. I don't know if you can see, there's some up in the top part of the tree. Anyway, they might come behind me if they think they're going to get something. So they're just watching me, and we have some on the roof which they just spy from above. So it's nice to know I've got an audience. They might make a noise every now and then, who knows. So what's been happening? I've been wanting to do a video for a while now, but January was busy going back to work after the short break over Christmas and New Year, and I was still getting over my bronchitis / sinus infection, and then I was going to record a video towards the end of last month, and very sadly Leanne Malzewski of Lost in Floss passed away from breast cancer suddenly. She'd only recorded with Barb a couple of weeks beforehand, and it just come as such a shock to me. We'd made friends on via email, and we'd been emailing back and forth up until Christmas time, and it just took me by surprise, and I was just really feeling low. Such a lovely lady. Yes, such a beautiful lady, and a shame to lose her from our stitching community. And I'm also sending all my love to Barb, who's now coming to terms with the loss of her friend. I think they've been friends for about 48 years, which is really special to have a friend that long who's grown up with you and seen your children grow and things like that. It must be very hard. And also to Leanne's family, I did communicate with Leanne's brother briefly after she passed away, and yeah, she's going to be deeply missed, but her family were really happy that the stitching community had shown her such love, and they wanted to share that. So they had a obituary page that people could put a tribute up, and it was really lovely to see lots of people from the stitching community share with Leanne's friends and family who didn't do stitching, just how much she meant to them as well, so they could really see the far-reaching impact that she had on the cross-stitch community, which was lovely. And also this Friday, on Valentine's Day, which was yesterday, is the start of the Baby It's Cold sale being hosted by Gulf Coast Stitches and Quirks and Stitches, and Barb, but they're sort of helping Barb out by revamping the Baby It's Cold sale that Leanne and Barb were already hosting in honour of Leanne. And Gulf Coast Stitches is organising Stitchy Wishes being granted, which mine has been granted. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. And she has sent me a chart in the mail which is still on its way to me, so that is lovely. And I'd had previously last month started the Baby It's Cold chart, but I stuffed up the, let me just show you. I've been trying these things out. I don't know what they're called. I got mine at Spotlight for a few dollars. So I had started the border over here, but you're supposed to leave 3 stitches worth of spaces between each motif, and I did the correct thing on the way down, but across the bottom and then up near the top I left 4 spaces, didn't I? And I'm like, the sale's starting officially on Friday. I don't want to waste time sitting there unpicking it. I have a huge piece of Confederate grey here fabric, so I just found another spot this morning and just started there. I'm like, bugger it. So just to show you, I've started just here doing I thought I'll do the fun bit to restart, and instead of the border that annoys me, and I'll come back and do the border last. So I'm just doing the barn, like the little red cottage, cabin I should say, that's what the word I'm trying to think of. And I'll just get the chart. The cockatoos have gone. They obviously thought, well, that tart isn't going to give me anything, I'm just going to go. So this is it. Really cute project, and I've just started this little bit here. So that's where I'm up to with that. Now I am not doing the called for colours. It's too expensive and long-winded to try and the sale was starting, to try and get hold of the specialty threads. So, oh, and Beth Twist is releasing a PDF, but she has charted a little cardinal to replace a couple of the trees next to the cabin, because birds are often used in samplers to represent a loved one who has flown to heaven, so to speak, to leave us. And so she's put that in there to represent Leanne, and it's a cardinal, which Leanne loved red, so I think that's very fitting. And so yes, I'm going to add that in as well. And what else? I'm going to put Leanne's initials in there as well, with her birth and death years in there as well, I think. So we'll see where I can fit that in at the end. So with the colours, I just chose Christmassy colours that sort of match what is there, but not exactly, because I just didn't want to wait to try and it was expensive to get them from overseas. So for us here in Australia, it's about $7 or $8 a skein for specialty threads like Weeks Dye Works, etc. And then to get it from 123 Stitch, it can be between 10 and 20, like usually from the US postage is about $20 Australian. So it's very, very expensive to kit up stuff with specialty threads, so I don't do it on everything. So for the let's see, for the border I chose DMC 904, and then I'm going to put this red in the center of the motif, which is DMC 816. The trees are going to be a combination of DMC 890, I don't know if you can sort of see that there, it's like a dark forest green, and the DMC 904. And I did get one specialty thread because it was from an Australian provider, and it was Weeks Dye Works Grits 1092, which will be the snow and that. And then for the writing, I'm going to use DMC 869 and the trunks of the trees. And for the windows in the cabin and everything, I'm going to use DMC 3852 to give it a gold look, like there's light in the windows. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, there is another colour. Oh. DMC 3778. I can't remember what I was going to do with that one. Maybe I was going to... Oh, that's what I'm going to do. This one is actually going to be in the center of the motifs going around the border. Yep. So, there you go. That's my conversion. We really need a Ravelry. I wish I could develop, like I was a programmer or something. Maybe Dawn could do it. Frosty Dawn. You should start up a Ravelry for cross stitch. So you can store in there information about your stash, for your fabric, your threads. You can put your projects that you're doing to share with other people. And then designers, if they want, they can list their patterns on there for you to buy direct from them, or to get off their website, whatever. It gives you a link just like Ravelry does, and you can download their pattern and pay for it, or get free ones if people want to offer free ones. That would be awesome. Frosty Dawn, a Frosty Cross Stitch. Dawn, please make a Ravelry for cross stitch. Stitchery? I don't know. That'd be awesome. Then we could keep track, and then you could see and get inspiration from other people, and you could have like a forums where you can have like a conversation, chats and everything, so those people that don't have a local stitchy group can feel like they're with their stitchy group anyway. And yeah, that'd be awesome. So that's my new start for 2020, and I started that again for the second time yesterday, or like, actually no, I started it this morning. What am I saying? Right, so last weekend I was in Wyong at Cowinda Waters, the McCure Cowinda Waters Resort at Wyong, for the Linen and Threads Mirabilia retreat, and Nora Corbett came to the retreat, and it was my first Mirabilia retreat, and it was flipping awesome. So there was a few ladies from my cross stitch group in Brisbane here, and they flew down the day before I got there, and so that was the Thursday. I got down there on the Friday. I managed to have a quick visit with my mum and my nan, and then I drove my hire car down to Wyong, which is about an hour's drive from Newcastle Airport, and it's sort of towards Sydney, so heading between Newcastle and Sydney. So I went to there, and oh my god, I tried to go to the chocolate factory on the way for Wayne, and I got there and they'd closed just before, but the roads were flooding, it was torrential rain, it was really like hectic, and in the end I just went, no, I'm just going straight to the hotel, so to the resort. So I went to the resort, and wouldn't you know it, I didn't get a room in the main building where there's parking underneath. No. So they've got these apartment buildings, like 3-story apartment buildings. Anyway, so I got in the building, the first building down from the main one. So, okay, that's fine. So I parked out the front. It's raining. Get my suitcase. So I had a big suitcase plus my little travel suitcase, which had all my stitchy stuff in, and my knitting bag and my handbag. And I get inside, and I'm looking around the foyer, and I see apartment, 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 apartment. No lift, just some stairs. So I climb the stairs. apartment. No, mine's on the top floor, like in the tower. So I had to carry my suitcase up 4 flights of stairs. Holy cow. Not impressed. Yeah, it nearly killed me. But by the time I got up there, I whinged to Wayne, and he's like, go and ask if you can get like a room in the main building, which wouldn't have been possible because they were pretty booked out. I said, no, I've moved the stuff now. It's not moving till I go home. So anyway, it was a lovely room. The rooms at the resort are really big, so you're not cramped or anything like that. And I also took advantage of Linda Jo of Pretty Southern's suggestion, because she travels all the time with her stitching for work. And I got out the ironing board and set that up at the bed, and I was able to screw this onto the end of the ironing board so I could sit in bed and stitch free-handed, and had all my stuff on there plus my light. So I was able to bring my light closer to me. It worked a treat. So if you're traveling, get the ironing board, because there's always an ironing board in the room, and set up your stitching on the bed, and you can have your light sitting right above you rather than trying to balance it on pillows and things, because it's never anything close enough to put your light on so you can elevate it. And you know, because most of us travel with a desk light, we don't travel with like a big tall light because it's too heavy and cumbersome. So thank you, Linda Jo. And if you do take a photo of your stitching, credit Linda Jo of Pretty Southern, because she's the one who suggested it, and she's awesome. So yeah, so anyway, so I got there and I just relaxed, and then I contacted Laura, my friend Laura, Lola Star Creates on YouTube, and she was already in her room, and she had like a 1-bedroom. It was almost like a 1-bedroom apartment, had like a living room separate to the bedroom with a kitchenette and everything. So I went over to her room for the evening. She was in the main building, and we sat and chatted for ages, and then we went downstairs to the restaurant in the hotel, rather than ordering room service, and then we just had dinner there and chatted for ages. Then I went back for another cup of tea, and I'm like, I don't want a late night. And then like 11:30 I was heading back to my apartment. But anyway, it was really, really good. It's like we hadn't seen each other for like 12 months, so we're just like spewing forth all of the gossip and everything. She's telling me about her trip to America, and it was totally awesome. So then the next morning, got up, met Laura for breakfast in the main building at the restaurant, and then brought my stitchy stuff over with me, and then the retreat started at 9. So just before 9 we saw people going in, and so we wandered over, and they had tables set up of about 8 to 10 people on a big round table. I can't remember how many tables there were quite a few, and we were at table 1 at the front, which was handy. And Karen of Linen and Threads did an introduction and introduced Nora Corbett to us all, and then Nora came round and said hello to me, because she was greeting all the newbies, the people who'd not been before. So that was really nice, and so I got to chat to her, and she's very lovely, and it was so nice chatting to her. So yeah, so we had a good chat, and then she just did the rounds of the room throughout the whole weekend, signing charts and things like that. So yeah, so it was really good. So the first thing I did was I got up, and I mean, there was a table there with stuff for sale, like Mirabilia charts and everything, and hand-dyed fabric by Brendan, and bead packs and stuff. But oh my god, the first thing, everyone just went straight to that table, and it was like seagulls on a chip. So I decided to go up the back to the brag tables, and I took some video which I'll insert at the end of this Flosstube episode. And yeah, there was just some really, really beautiful pieces. I didn't have anything finished yet for Mirabilia, so I just admired everybody else's and got inspiration. And there was a Renaissance mermaid there, and she was stunning. So I did end up buying the chart and some fabric, and yeah, just stunning. And the lady, whoever had done her, had added some extra starfish type Swarovski crystals down the bottom Just beautiful, really, really pretty on hand dyed fabric. So I got some fabric that's similar to the fabric that the person used for their finished piece. But yeah, and they had a competition, so people got a voting form and you could vote for the ones that you liked the most, framed and unframed, and then those were drawn. But I left before they were drawn out on the Sunday because we had a blackout then because of the bad weather, and then the power came back on the Sunday. But Laura and I ended up leaving and a few others early because I wasn't sure I was going to get through the flooded roads to get to the airport, and I didn't want to miss 5 flights, so I left a bit early, which was a shame. Next time I'll make sure I stay an extra day, and that way I don't have to panic and leave early. So yeah, so Saturday night we all went out to dinner, a group of us, and that was really nice at the Wyong Tavern, which is at the Wyong Milk Factory. And the milk factory has a cafe, a tavern, a cheese factory, and a chocolate shop. So yeah, so we went there, and it was absolutely torrential rain as well. But it was a good weekend to be stitching because it was rainy, so perfect. So I had a really fun weekend. I actually got stitching done, would you believe? So just to show you, linen and threads, like Nora designed a piece for us to stitch for the retreat, and I ordered the kit, which was $40, and this is what I've done so far, although the bottom bit I've got like this okay, sugar. So basically what this is, and I'll show you a picture on my video, it's a crown, because the theme was bling. So it's a crown with jewels like your earrings and everything, like a pendant going below, and it says Mirabilia Australia 2020, and it's got lots of pretty beads on it. But this bit I stuffed up, it needs to come over, so I've stuffed that side and that side up, but this is correct, this bit. So this is the start of the crown. So I did quite a bit of stitching on the weekend. I was surprised because, you know, you tend to just talk all the time. And so that's on some plain linen. And I can't show you what it is because it's the actual chart. So, but anyway, trust me, it's a crown with like your earring pendants and everything that come down, and your necklace pendant. And so that Nora designed that, and I'll just show you the beads. So we got the floss, which is all DMC except for one specialty thread, which I'm not sure what it's called. That's the specialty thread. It's like a burgundy pink, and then there's like greys and blue, white, and then a couple of greys, and some treasure braid, and $42010 petite beads, Mill Hill. $42027. It's like a pale pink, and then a pale blue is 40168 with the petite bead. So that's what we got for our project. So I will finish that at some stage this year. It's not very big, but it's just taking a rest while I do the Baby It's Cold sale. Actually, I'll just put that away before I get everything all crazy. Okay, so that's that. Now, everything's hickledy-pickledy. That's, oh, okay. I'll show you a picture at the end of this as well. Laura and I got together and had a photo. Thanks, Margaret. Margaret McCorfey took a photo of us, Laura and I, with our shawls that we finished for the Advent, so I'll share that with you. Yeah. Yesterday I finally worked out how to use my overlocker. Had it for like 12 months. And managed to overlock the edges on all my linens, so that's really good. So first I might go with what I purchased from my haul from the retreat. Then I'll show you where I'm up to on some of my whips. Yep. Okay. Right, so I pre-purchased this come in Nora's suitcase from the US, I purchased Nora Corbett's Eva Witch and the bead pack. So that's the bead pack and the witch, Eva. Oh look, I've got some crud on my hands. And yeah, so I got that. I forgot to get Nora to sign this one. And then I got this fabric to do it on, that Brendan thing. It's a fat quarter, hand dyed 32 count linen. I'll take it out. Gotta be careful I don't get smudge on it. It's this beautiful purple pink fabric. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous, really pretty. There's the color there, beautiful. So that's a fat quarter, really pretty. I can't really see it very well there, sorry. Yeah, gorgeous. And he already had overlocked the edges on that one, so that was cool. So let's put that there and get the air out of that one. Right, so that goes back in the packet. Sorry for the rustling if you're listening on headphones, apologies. I just don't want things to get separated, and I just organised them today, so I'd like it to stay organised if possible. Anyway, that's not going to go in easily, so I'll leave that. Nora signed this for me. It's the Renaissance Mermaid for Lisa, Nora Corbett. And I got a chart for Dawn, and I got Nora to sign that as well, which that's the photo of me that I'm going to insert at the end with Nora. She was signing the charts for me, and she didn't know I was behind her, and Ronnie, my friend, said, get down to take a photo of you. So I squatted down behind Nora, hanging onto a chair, and then Nora turned around. She didn't realize I was there, and then we both cracked up laughing because it was like I was a stalker standing behind her. She didn't know I was there, like a creeper. So this Renaissance, this is the fabric I've got to do the Renaissance mermaid on. It's a fat quarter 32 count linen, hand dyed by Brendan, and it's really pretty. Pinks and blues and greens and yellows, really lovely. So that's going to be for that one. So that's that. So that was all my haul, other than the pack that we got to stitch on for the retreat. I think I was pretty restrained. I didn't have a huge budget to spend on charts and things, because it was expensive enough travelling down and staying there for a few days and flying back. By the way, Wayne upgraded me to business class. Thank you, Wayne. He's so good to me. The only other thing I purchased recently was this chart, which is Miss Lucy Calcutt 1825 by Just Stitching Along, and it's gorgeous. Look at the pinks. Wait and I'll take it out. Holy cow, it's so pretty. And I got that from Journey of a Stitcher, and she always gives you a free little chart in there. So I haven't even looked what that one is. I can't show you because it's, I suppose I could because it's free, but I don't want to. It's alright. I don't want to break the rules. It's an Easter egg. Oh, cute. Anyway, that's it there. How pretty. All the pinks. Just gorgeous in that red house, like seriously. And there's a nice lawn, but it's not too much lawn to do, so that's really good. And I love all the pots of flowers. So yeah, so that's going to be beautiful. Lucy Calcutt, age 8 in 1825. So I got that. I've decided from now on, this is an exception, but where possible, I'm going to only buy the chart where possible. I mean, sometimes it won't work out, but I want to try and get it kitted up at the beginning, because I end up with all these charts and then I haven't, it's expensive to try and get fabric and threads from overseas and things like that. So I want to try and kit it up at the time I'm buying it, and that way I'm committed to stitching it, because it ends up languishing in my stash and I don't get to stitch it, which I really want to stitch it. So yeah, so on to whips. Sorry, this is a bit like, woo, this is just spontaneous. I hadn't even planned this. I knew I wanted to do one, but I didn't plan to do it right now. I literally woke up from a nanny nap, excuse the messy hair, saw the cockatoo sitting there. I thought, oh, I'll come out and do that. Anyway, just before Christmas, I was stitching on, what is it? I've forgotten the name of it. If you want to know the name of it, you'll have to look up one of my previous ones before Christmas. But anyway, Dawn, Frosty Cross Stitch, gave me this, and I've got up to the Q in the alphabet, so I haven't got that much further to go. That's looking really cute. I'm going to make that into a Christmas pillow. I just have some stuff to come back and do across here, and then finish the alphabet. So that's really, really cute. And there's like another gnome or something at the end there. So yeah, so that's cute. So that's where I'm up to with that one. I love how I edge my stuff. So good. Now I've got an overlocker to use, that I've worked out how to use it. So, oh, at the retreat I made some button needle minders, and then I found out the correct glue you can use, because mine wasn't the strongest glue. So I'm going to be, anyway, I'll tell you at the end about the needle minders situation, but I made some needle minders to give out as gifts to people I met at retreat, which was really lovely. And yeah, so I had fun making those. Okay, my next whip is my Mirabilia Mermaids of the Deep, which is this one. And I've got the bead pack for this, and I'm just using DMC thread. And I had started up above, but I ended up just going, oh, I need to start it for, oh God, I can't even see it, can you? For retreat. So that's the tail of one of the mermaids. So that's coming along nicely. So that's one of my whips I want to work on throughout the year. Oh man, I just lost some treasures. I don't want to lose them. The cockatoos will steal them. The little buggers love anything exciting and shiny. So they'd see them and take them for sure. So this is my Silks for You PR154, and the Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Samplers. I haven't made any more progress, I don't think, much since I showed you at Christmas when I was traveling. Oh, so that's it there. It's just the that's just the top border, the border going down the side, and the start of the dragon's wing. So that's looking so good. I'm really enjoying stitching on this, and this is Bush Tea by Jay's Cross Stitch. I contacted her and she cut me a piece exactly how I wanted it and gave me a price. Perfect. And she sent me a photo beforehand to make sure I really liked it. It's really gorgeous fabric. So it's tea dyed, so that's really lovely. And I definitely recommend you go to her shop. I'll put the details below. So yeah, so that's basically, I started there, did a bit of the wing, and there's these two little butterflies there, and then started the border. So this border's really fiddly at the top, so I'm going to do part of the border, and then a reward will be to do some more of the other stuff. bit of border and a bit more of the other stuff. Otherwise, I don't want to be stuck at the end just doing this top border. It'll be horrible. It looks lovely when it's done, but I just don't want to be stuck having a headache trying to do it when it's kind of fiddly. So that's that. I better put that one away there. Oh my god, so much to show you. Now I got this out again because Laura, oh my god, Laura has I'll put a link to her latest video down there because she did a video vlog of the retreat weekend, which is really good because I only took a few photos and a little video and I didn't do much else because I'm slack. But Laura has been working diligently on her Botany Bay sample, and she's actually done the whole border and done the alphabet across the top, plus started the trees and that building. I'm like, I need to pull my finger out and get this worked on some more. She's just going gangbusters, and the fabric that she picked that everybody hated, like they're all horrified because it was not traditional fabric. It's like mottled, hand dyed by Brendan, I think. It's mottled pinks and pale pinks and misty blues and yeah, just real subtle colors. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Kudos to you, Laura. It looks fantastic. So this is what I've done so far, is just the border on one side, and I started the alphabet, and you can hardly see it there. You can hardly see it there because it's very faint pale pink, but there's like a chain border going across, so I've done that bit so far. So I really want to get this alphabet done because I hate alphabets in samplers. They're just, I don't like doing the stitching. So I'm going to get, from now on I know I'm just going to get samplers that don't involve any new samplers I buy. They're not going to have alphabets in if I can help it. So yeah, so once I get the alphabet done, I can then get onto the fun motifs down further, which will be good. So that's what I've got there. Right. Now, that's all the cross stitch. So if you don't want to watch about stuff I'm crocheting or knitting, then thanks for coming and I'll see you next time. But if you are interested in seeing what I've been crocheting and knitting, then please hold on for a moment and I shall show you. Oh my lord, everything's out of whack. Oh, I forgot to say, we got a pack at retreat that had a needle minder, a blingy needle minder by Ale Kate Designs, but I couldn't find her shop or anything anywhere, so I don't know where she sells them. Oh, before the cross stitches go, sorry if you've already gone. Before you go, yeah, the rest of the retreat we got in the bag, we got some bath salts, a little white candle in a jar, and I got the kit, and we got the needle minder, so that was really nice. And what I wanted to say about the needle minders was I really enjoyed making them. I'm going to get some more supplies. The little thing I was saying that I was working on in the background, so I'm wanting to open an Etsy store. I've had one in the past. Anyway, I've sort of reserved the store in the name Lisa Loves Stitchin'. I think it's Lisa Loves Stitchin'. So I want to open a store. I don't know if I'll open it and see how it goes, because Etsy's really hard to sell on because there's so many sellers and they're more in the US, so it's hard to get sales in Australia. But even if I don't sell much on there, I'm going to maybe have some market stalls come Christmas time later in the year at our local markets. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to do some various things. It's not all going to be cross stitch related, but I'm going to be making some needle minders to sell. I'm thinking of making some banners or pin banners to hang your needle minders on in your craft room or craft corner. So it'll be like a little banner and you can just magnetize your needle minders onto it like you would your fabric. And that'll have like a little dowel that you can hang it on your wall or whatever to store them. I'm going to be doing doggy collars like kerchiefs for dogs on their collars. I've sewn them before for a shop, and I might end up making some bags, not vinyl fronted because I don't like vinyl to sew with, but yeah, I might make some bags, I don't know, so stay tuned on that. I'm also going to be making, hopefully, I've got some, it's expensive to get, some lemon myrtle crushed leaves, and lemon myrtle keeps away bugs and mold, and so I want to make, you know, like lavender bags, like little pouches, but they'll have lemon myrtle in them to sell. So you can put that with your fabric or with your knitting supplies, etc. And I thought I heard someone coming up the driveway. Yeah, so you can put that in with your fabric and everything, and it keeps the bugs away. I also got to try, which just smells nice. I don't know that it has the same properties as lemon myrtle, but it is of the myrtle family, and I got cinnamon myrtle, and it smells subtly like cinnamon. So I might put that, do some bags up with that, so at least even if it doesn't guarantee to keep, I think it would probably keep bugs away, but even if it doesn't, because I know lemon myrtle does for sure, then you can still put it in your drawer or in your fabrics, and it makes them smell nice, if you like cinnamon. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that sort of thing. So I'll stay tuned. I need to make up some stock first before I can start selling it. But the needle minders will probably be the first because they're the quickest to make. But getting supplies at the moment, some of the supplies are in overseas, and with the coronavirus, not much is coming through to order those things. So we'll see. Yeah, so if you're ever wanting to make needle minders, I found out that E6000 glue is the one to use. It's like super glue for crafters, so really strong. And I'm ordering rare earth magnets to use for my needle minders because they're super strong. So that's definitely all the cross-stitch stuff. You can go now if you don't want to wait around and watch my knitting stuff. But I'm just going to get into my knitting stuff, and then I'm going to have dinner with Wayne. So the crochet shawl, I'm not going to hold the whole thing out, but you know, I finished it with the bobbles, and then I finally made the tassel to go with it. Oops, something's got in it. Oh no, it's just a bit of fluff. So yeah, so that's really cute. Nora absolutely loved it, so I'm thinking I'll make her, I've started her a shawl to take next year at in February next year, and I'll gift her that. So it'll be another big blanket shawl, because this is, as I've shown before, like really huge. Really huge. I love it. So that's that one. And I got this big rope basket from Kmart, and that is going to hold all my crochet blankets in the living room, and I'll put some of my smelly bags in there, and then people, like when Wayne and I, or visitors, are sitting there and it's cold in winter, you can just dig in and get a crochet blankie out and keep yourself warm, rather than raiding the linen cupboard and making a mess of that. So I started a jumper for my friend's daughter. I'm using Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply yarn, and it's pure wool, and it's really lovely. It's in this rich cherry red. I also have a pink ball as well, and there's enough in that for the whole jumper basically, in that one ball. I'm doing it for an 8 to 9 year old, a 7 to 8 year old, or a 7 to 8 year old size. Their daughter's 6, but she's in, this week she's 6, but she's tall for her age group. So this is just the neck, the yoke, coming into the yoke, and it's just a 1x1 rib, and then you add the increases in between. So you do certain number of repeats, and then you do the increases over 2 rows, and then another lot of, and the increases go up, and then you do like a raglan increase for the jumper. So it'll be like a 1x1 rib yoke, and then just a straight stockingette jumper. So that's what I'm working on. I can't even remember the name of the jumper. Holy cow. Sorry about that. And then I've started a crochet blanket shawl for Nora, and this is what I've done so far. It's really pretty. I'm just using yarn that I have. Some of it's brand new balls of yarn that I haven't like used yet, but I'm using for socks and things, so it doesn't matter if you use a little bit from the end. So there are all the colors. Really pretty. Gosh, gorgeous. And this is the one I'm using at the moment, which I think is called Candy Cane by Yarn Ink. I had some left over from some socks, so I'm using that. So that's going along nicely. And then I'm knitting a pair of socks for Wayne. I haven't cast on socks for Yonks, and I had my hiatus. And this is yarn that's from a lady in Adelaide, and I can't think of her name. Anyway, this is the yarn I got down in Sydney. Really pretty speckled yarn, and like lots of greens and mustard yellows and browns. And that's what I've done so far. I just started with a plain yarn that is like a Peyton's yarn from Spotlight, and then I added in the sock yarn, and I've also done a little pattern here. You can't really see it. It's like little circles, little dots of garter bumps going down. I just thought I'd try it. I don't really like it, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead. So I just decided to just do the 3 garter bumps, and now I'm just heading down to I get to the length I want for the heel, and then I'll insert the heel flap and gusset, and then I'll get on to the toe. So that's going along really nicely. I'm using these Zings knitting needles, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know where the other knitting needle's gone. Oh, there it is. These are 3mm. They're nice anodized metal. So that's what I'm doing so far with that. And one last thing. Oh, by the way, if you're wanting to do the crochet shawl that I'm doing, I'm using the pattern there's a free pattern from a blog, which I'll put the blog details down below, and I'm using a 4mm hook. This is like my favorite, the anodized ones. 4mm hook, and I'm also using the same size hook for this crochet blanket that I started with my Advent yarn from Laura from the previous year, and this is where I'm up to. So it's just going to be a long double crochet, or I think you call it treble crochet in UK terms, double crochet in US terms, and that's it. Let me just fold it in half so you can sort of get an idea for the colours. So that's the colours. So it's got some bluey, greeny teals, and then some warm sort of golden browns and mustards and golds, and then a bit of red, and then some lavender and some white speckled, and then some more purpley speckled, which this one's Archaic by Olan in Ireland. Yeah, gorgeous. This is nice and squishy. So this is going to be in my basket, and when I'm finished with it, it'll go in that rope basket, and people can just pull it out when they need a cozy blanket. So that's everything. Wow. So yes, I'll try and record again soon. I just had lost my mojo for recording after Leanne, and I just, you know, really struggled with wanting to do it, and a bit of stress with work and things. So anyway, I'll try to make it moving forward more regular. But anyway, I just wanted to say I had decided I was going to do a new start every month, but I don't have enough things kitted. So I'm just going to start things as soon as I kit it up. I'm going to get stuff out of my stash, kit it up, and just start it whenever I feel like it. If I want to start multiple things in one month, I will. If I don't, that's fine. But I just think they're just sitting there, and I want to stitch them. If I start them, at least it's a start, isn't it? So I'm not going to worry. But yeah. Oh, and I've ordered from Taryn. Hi Taryn. We met at the retreat, which was awesome, along with Margaret, and some other ladies that I met at the sampler retreat the year before in June. So Taryn is making me she makes awesome bags, project bags. If you look up T Zerbal Handmaids on Facebook, and she's also on Instagram. I'll put her details down below as well, but she's making me an Outlander vinyl fronted project bag which has tartan in it. Oh, I'm so excited, can't wait for that to come. So that's paid for and everything. It's just gonna come in a few weeks when she's finished making it. So I'm looking forward to that coming in the mail. And I'm disappointed that Outlander's on, but you have to have Foxtel to get it. I have Netflix and I don't want to pay for Foxtel. Anyway, so I don't know when I'll get to see Outlander. I'm so disappointed. I was really looking forward to it when it launched, of being able to watch it. Anyway, fingers crossed, maybe Apple will release it on the iTunes store so I can purchase the episodes and watch that. Anyway, whatever you're doing this Saturday, the 15th of February, I hope you're having a relaxing weekend. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're stitching, and I'll catch you next time. Now I'm off to put together a cheese and meat platter and sit with Wayne on the veranda and look at that sunset behind me coming up, and can't really see it there, but it is sunset, and just enjoy the views and relax. Bye.